Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Namo Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. Today is June 11th, 2026. It is Ekadasi for us here. I think it's Ekadasi for you also. Ekadasi of the Purushottamas. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Mother Yaśoda binds Lord Kṛṣṇa. We are coming to the conclusion of this chapter. We read or we discussed in the previous session that the way it is easy for those devotees who follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vrajavasis, like Mother Yaśoda and other gopis. So the way it is easy for them so by following in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis, it is easy for these devotees to develop the kind of love that these Vrajavasis have for Kṛṣṇa. They don't become those personalities, but they are able to develop that type of love that a Vrajavasi has for Kṛṣṇa. How they are able to develop? By following in their footsteps, they are able to develop. That way, it is not at all easy, or you can say it is not possible for tapasvis who are trying to attain the absolute truth on the strength of their bodily abilities to do tapasya, to control the mind, to control the body, meditate. They are doing it on their own strength. So for them, it is not at all easy, or you can say it is not available for them. Or for jnanis who don't have this bodily identification. They don't have this bodily identification because they have crossed, Nishkama Karma Yoga. That means they have realized I'm not this body. So they are not dehabhimani. But even for them, it is not possible to develop the love. What to speak of developing that type of love? They cannot even, in previous verses we saw, these jnanis who even become eligible to merge into Brahman, they cannot catch Krishna. They cannot even touch Krishna, they cannot even see Krishna. It's not possible for them. Then what to speak of developing the love that the Vrajvasis have? It's not possible for jnanis. How about for Atma Bhutanam? Atma Bhutanam means those devotees who are dwelling in the Lord all the time, like Goddess Lakshmi Devi, like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Even for them, it is not easy or it is not available to develop the love. That means these Brajbasis are able to, I'm in class, Bhagavatam class. So these Brajbasis are not able to develop the type of love that, not Brajbasis, sorry. These devotees are not, so these Brajbasis are having that type of love. What type of love are we talking about? The love by which they are able to control Krishna. Like here we see Yaśodā Mai is binding Krishna. Is it possible for other devotees to do that? It's not possible. And the way it is not possible for someone to have love like Yaśodā Mai, by which she is able to bind Krishna, in the same way, you should also understand it is not possible for anyone to develop the type of love that the younger gopis have for Krishna. That means conjugal love. It is not possible for anyone to develop. Not even for Lakshmi Devi or Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. These are the greatest personalities. If it is not possible for them, then what to speak of anyone else in this material world? It's not possible. So in this 21st verse, iha means in this world. So if Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva or Lakshmi Devi are not able to have that type of love by which they can bind Krishna, then what to speak of others? It's not possible. So it is said that Nayam Sukhapo Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sutaha Jnaninam Chatma Bhutanam Yatha Bhakti Matam Iha. It is not possible for them to develop the type of love that the Brajbasis have. I'm sorry. It is not possible for these devotees. Which devotees? So here two categories were said. So this is what we had discussed in the previous session. One category of devotees is like great controllers, like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. They are Ishwaras. They are on the level of Ishwaras, controllers. They are actually Gunavataras. So because of such opulence, they have their own planets. They are Ishwaras. They are controllers. They are masters. For them, it is not possible to accept their subordinate position in front of the residents of Vraja, to humble themselves in front of them and become their servants. It's not possible for them. That is why they are not able to develop that type of love. Why? The only way that one can develop that type of love is by following in the footsteps of these Brajbasis. There is no other way. That is why the previous verse said, neither Brahma nor Shiva nor Lakshmi Devi. And this verse is also saying, the way it is easily available for those who follow in the footsteps, for others, it is not available. So that means the only way to develop this type of love is by following in the footsteps of the Brajbasis. So because of their exalted positions in, they're controllers of planets, or, Lakshmi Devi is the consort of the Lord, the queen in Vaikuntha. So to humble themselves, giving up their, to forget their exalted position and humble themselves in front of the Brajvasis, it's very difficult for them. That is why it's not easy for them to get the type of love that Brajvasis have. And only when you have that love, it is that love which is controlling the Lord. So they cannot control the Lord. What about other devotees, other persons, other than such great, they are also devotees, exalted devotees, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi Devi. What about others? Why they are not able to develop? If these devotees are not able to develop, then what to speak of others? What chance do they have? That means if you're not following in the footsteps of gopis, of the Vrajvasis, what chance do others have? What is the reason that they are not able to? Okay, they are great Ishwaras, controllers, they are not able to develop. Why other devotees are not able to develop? They don't have that type of pride, What's the problem? They can humble themselves in front of the Brajvasis. There two reasons are given. One reason is they don't even know. They didn't receive this type of instruction that you should follow in the footsteps of the Brajvasis. When does one follow in the footsteps of Brajvasis? That is Raganuga Bhakti. First, you have to receive the mercy of a devotee, of either a Ragatmika Bhakta or of the Lord. When you receive that mercy, then you will know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to. Then you will get the qualification that you need to follow in the footsteps of gopis. What is the qualification? You have to have that greed, or you can say that taste for the love that Brajvasis. How you can get this taste and this greed? You can get it when it is given to you by those who have it. Simple. You have to get that greed first. Then you are eligible to do Raganuga Bhakti. So one reason why other people, other than these great personalities, why they don't get this type of love that the Brajvasis have, why they don't follow in the footsteps? Because they don't even know. Why they don't know? They didn't receive that mercy. First reason, they didn't receive that instruction. One. And the other is, here also, so two things are said. One is taste and the other one is instruction. These two reasons are given. So taste comes also, one way you get the taste is when somebody gives you that taste directly. It's called virala. Virala means extremely rare, that case, where directly one goes to Raganuga Bhakti. Without going through Vaidhi Bhakti, directly as soon as they come in the contact or in the association of devotees, immediately, they go for Raganuga Bhakti. That means they have the qualification for that. They have that type of greed that 24 hours they can simply hear. And that's what they will do. They have that type of taste. 24 hours, day after day after day, 24/7. They can hear. They get that type of taste. So the ordinary people don't have that type of taste. Therefore, they are not able to follow in the footsteps. Raganuga Bhakti means following in the footsteps of Brajvasis. To do that, you should have this taste. How you get this taste? One way is you get this greed. One way is you get this greed for that love when it is given to you by some devotee who has it, Ragatmika devotee who has it, or from the Lord you can get also directly. It's possible either way. And the other way is, which is most common for everyone, this is very rare case. And the other case is by following Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi. Ruchi means you get taste. So by following Vaidhi Bhakti also, at some point you can get Ruchi. You can get that taste. Once you get that taste, now you can also follow in the footsteps of Vrajvasi. So what is the reason that other devotees are not able to follow because once you follow in the footsteps of Vrajvasis, then you can also develop the love, the type of love that the Brajvasis have, you can also develop, that is said. And it is easily developed. By following in the footsteps of Brajvasis, very easily you can get. But for all others, it is not available. Sukhapo means very easily available, and finally that is concluded as easily available means they have it. They can get it. That means even that possibility of getting is there only for those who are following in the footsteps. This point is stressed, emphasized in several places. We read the same thing even in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the discussion between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkat Bhatta in South India. So in that discussion also, it is said why Lakshmi Devi was not able to, even though she desired, she performed tapasya, but she was not given entrance into Rasa Leela. Same reason is said. She didn't follow in the footsteps of the gopis. But the Shrutis, the Vedas personified, they followed in the footsteps of the gopis, and they were able to become gopis, and they were able to participate in Rasa Leela. That's there. But those who, the Lakshmi Devi was not able to do that. And also in the talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, there also it is stressed. How can you develop this Vraja Prema? It is only possible by following in the footsteps of the Vrajvasis. Because they have it by them, you have to get it through them. There's no other way. So now here also we are seeing in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, through this Leela of Damodar Leela, we are seeing that the type of love that Yaśoda Mai has, and with that love she is able to bind Kṛṣṇa, this type of love is not possible for even Brahmaji, Lord Shiva or Lakshmi Devi, and what to speak of others. However, in verse 21 it is said, it is very easily available for those who follow in the footsteps of gopis. Then why Brahmaji and Lord Shiva and Lakshmi Devi cannot get? Because they are not able to follow in the footsteps of gopis. Why? Because of their position as Ishwaras, they are not able to, it is very difficult, right? To humble yourself, it's not easy in front of Brajvasis. But those who are able to do that, for them it is easily available. Then why other devotees are not able to humble themselves like that? They don't have any position. They are not, are proud of being controllers of planets. Why they are not able to humble themselves? So two reasons are given. One reason is because they didn't receive that instruction. See, what do you need? Instruction means, oh, I'm supposed to follow in the footsteps of, who will tell you? Your bhajana guru will tell you. At what stage he will tell you follow in the footsteps of the gopis? When you are qualified. What is the qualification to do raganuga bhakti? You have to have taste. How you will get that taste? You'll get that taste if you are following Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Then in the stage of ruchi, you get that taste. Then you can follow by raganuga bhakti. Or directly, if you receive this laulyam, this greed to hear about Krishna's pastimes again and again and again, you have this greed, then in the very beginning itself, so how you will get that greed? You can start directly with Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti without going through Vaidhi Bhakti. But what is the qualification? This greed. How will you get this greed? This greed, one second, my battery. So how you will get this greed? If it is given to you. So either you have to have this taste or greed. You can say either taste or greed to do Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. And if you don't have that, then you should have Dridha Shraddha. When you get Dridha Shraddha, then you will start 24-hour bhajan on the strength of the instruction of Shastra. And then when you do that, your anarthas are removed. You come to Nishtha stage, and then you will get Ruchi. So either you have to have Dridha Shraddha or you have to have Laulyam, greed. One of these two. Or you will have to have taste. Either you have taste or you have to have Dridha Shraddha. If you don't have either of these, you are not qualified. That is why devotees other than Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and Lakshmi Devi, why they are not able to do Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti? For want of either Dridha Shraddha or taste that we saw. So now we will continue to the next verse. So these two verses, 20, 21, are showing the exalted position of Yasoda Mai's love. And even though the pastime was concluded that how Yasoda Mai has tied Kṛṣṇa, and throughout this pastime we have been discussing, you know, the details of how she was able to tie Kṛṣṇa, bind Kṛṣṇa. But still, after concluding it also, Sukadeva Goswami was so thrilled, overjoyed, and so excited to glorify. So here, what is being shown in this pastime of Damodar Leela, where Yasoda Mai binds Kṛṣṇa? Kṛṣṇa's Bhritya Vashyata. Bhritya Vashyata means his quality of being controlled by his servants. That is being shown. But even amongst those devotees, what is the exalted position of Yasoda Mai? That Sukadeva Goswami has shown in these verses. So now we have 2 more verses before we conclude this chapter. And also I will have to end the class a little early today because I have a class in ISKCON Philadelphia this morning. Okay, so we finished this verse. Why is the laptop so slow? Okay, we'll just go to the next verse now. Text 22. Kṛṣṇastu gṛha-kṛtyeṣu vyagrāyāṁ mātari prabhuḥ adrākṣīd arjunau pūrvaṁ guhyakau dhanadātmajau. So, what's going on here? Kṛṣṇastu gṛha-kṛtyeṣu vyagrāyāṁ mātari prabhuḥ. So after that, after what? After Yasoda Mai. So what happened before this? In between verses, we saw the glory, Sukadeva Goswami becoming very enthusiastic, excited, ecstatic about Yasoda Mai's position, so he glorified. But in the past time, what happened previous to this? Remember, the Yasoda Mai wanted to bind Kṛṣṇa because one thing was, there were 2 reasons. One reason was she thought that he is very disturbed, angry. That's why he broke the pot, isn't it? Being angry. And then he was trying to run away and Yasoda Mai caught him. So now, out of anger or out of fear, he was trembling. When Yasoda Mai caught him, he was trembling out of fear or out of anger or even out of depression, you know. That, oh, that pot is more dear to my mother than me. Nobody cares for me, like that. So with that, he's a small boy. He may just leave home and go away. He may go into the forest. And in the forest, there will be dangerous animals. So she wanted him to become pacified, normal. Until then, it was not certain what he would do. So she wanted to tie him, but at the same time, it was Deepavali day, and she had so many things to do at home also. So she wanted to protect him. So she decided she will tie him. That was one reason. The other reason was he's so small, hardly 3 years old, and how much anger he has just because I left him for a moment to take care of the milk. He got so angry that he broke the pot. And the butter, you know how much time it takes they would make with their hands, this butter. With so much hard work, that butter, he just went and fed to all the monkeys out of anger. I have to teach him a lesson. Otherwise, now, such a little boy, now he is doing this mischief with so much anger. If I don't correct him, if I don't punish him, I don't know what else he's going to do when he grows up. I am his mother. It's my responsibility to train my son. He's not someone else's son that I will say it's okay. His mother will take care. I have to take care of it. Therefore, I must punish him so that he will not repeat such things in future. So for these two reasons, she decided to bind him. And then we saw how she got the rope and she tried to bind him. Actually, in one commentary, it is said that she took out the hair ribbon that tied her hair, and with that she tried to tie him. And then, but that was not sufficient. It was 2 fingers too short. What were those 2 fingers? To bind Kṛṣṇa. Who can bind Kṛṣṇa? He is unlimited. He is all-pervading. So it is not because he has no inside or outside. How can you bind something which has no inside or outside? So his vibhutvam, that quality of all-pervasive quality, right, that just stood up, and Yaśodā Mai was not able to bind. Then, but Kṛṣṇa becomes bound by his devotees when he allows himself to be bound by the devotee, then he's bound. Then even though he is Vibhu, all-pervading, in spite of being all-pervading, he allows himself to be bound. This is his achintya quality. Simultaneously being all-pervading, he can also become, come in a size which can be handled by the devotee. Like he comes as a deity also. Like that. Kṛṣṇa, although all-pervading, he can come like a small boy, a 3-year-old boy that his mother can pick up and, feed him and nurse him. But when will he do that? When being conquered by the love of that devotee, then he allows himself, and so that the pastime can take place. He wants to please that devotee, and he himself is also tasting that. Then when he allows, then it will happen. So in this case, why Yaśodā Mai was not able to bind in the beginning? Because she was not so serious, so eager to do that. She was not, she was like casually, she was just going to bind him. But then when she was determined and she kept bringing rope after rope after rope, all the ropes that were there in her house, as well as all the ropes that were there in the entire village from all other gopis' homes, she brought from morning until evening. She was trying, seeing her hard work. She was sweating, perspiring, and the flowers in her hair were falling down, but she didn't give up. Seeing her hard work, now Kṛṣṇa's compassion awakened. And then so these were the 2 fingers. What are the 2 fingers? First finger is the hard work of the devotee. Second finger is Kṛṣṇa's compassion, by which he allows himself to be bound. So when Kṛṣṇa's Kripa Shakti, which is the emperor amongst all Shaktis, awakened, then Yaśodā Mai was able to bind Kṛṣṇa. So what did she do after binding Kṛṣṇa? That's the point. And so that's what we are going to read in this verse. Kṛṣṇastu gṛha-kṛtyeṣu vyagrāyāṁ mātari prabhuḥ adrākṣīd. Sorry, not that verse. Yeah, that verse. Adrākṣīd arjunau purvaṁ guhyakau dhanadātmajau. So here, what we should look for is, let's try to understand. So right after that, After Mother Yasoda tied Kṛṣṇa, mātari, the second line. Mātari means Mother Yasoda. Mātari, gṛha-kṛtyeṣu. Gṛha, first line, gṛha-kṛtyeṣu means other household activities, in doing her household activities. gṛha-kṛtyeṣu. Mother Yasoda, to do her household activities. Vyagrāyāṁ, she became busy. Vyagrāyāṁ. So, mātari gṛha-kṛtyeṣu vyagrāyāṁ. Mother Yasoda became busy in her household activities. Then, prabhuḥ, second line, prabhuḥ, and first word of the first line, kṛṣṇastu is said, na? So, Kṛṣṇa. Prabhuḥ, Kṛṣṇah, then you see in the third line, pūrvaṁ. Purvaṁ. So here purvaṁ means in the previous life, purva janma mein, purvaṁ. Prabhu Kṛṣṇa means Prabhu. Why Prabhu is said? Because he is the Supreme Lord. Prabhu, he is the Master. Sarva Samarthavan. He knows everything. He is the Supreme Lord. That Kṛṣṇa. Then purvaṁ means now he is seeing something. I will explain further, but first I'm just trying to do the anvaya of this verse. So when you read it, you'll be able to understand. Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu Kṛṣṇah, purvaṁ. Purvaṁ means in previous life. Guhyakau. Guhyakau means guhyakau, dhanadātmajau is said, na? So guhyakau means those who are born amongst the demigods. Those who are born amongst the demigods. So in previous life, born amongst the demigods, and arjunau. In this life, they have become arjuna trees. That means those who are born in previous life as amongst the demigods have now appeared here. Adrākṣīd arjunau. Arjunau means now in this lifetime they have appeared as arjuna trees. Dhanadātmajau. Dhanad means the treasurer. Who is the treasurer? Kuvera. Atmajau means sons, those who are born from the self. Atma-ja. Ja means born. Atmajau. Those who are born from this body, from myself. That means my children, my sons. Dhanadātmajau means Kuvera's sons. Who are Kuvera's sons? So that is also said. So Kṛṣṇastu guhyakṛtyeṣu gṛha-kṛtyeṣu vyagrāyāṁ mātari prabhuḥ adrākṣīd arjunau purvaṁ guhyakau dhanadātmajau. That means after this, after tying Kṛṣṇa, Mother Yasoda became busy in her household activities. At that time, Kṛṣṇa, who was bound to the grinding motor, now who is Kṛṣṇa? That's why Prabhu is said. Prabhu, right? He is the Lord. He is the giver of liberation. Another thing to be noted here is Kṛṣṇa is bound to the grinding motor. Even though he himself is bound, he is going to liberate those who are bound. So at that time, after Yasoda Mai went away, she became busy with her household activities. Kṛṣṇa, who was bound to the grinding motor, Kṛṣṇa, who is the giver of liberation, he saw, Kṛṣṇa looked at these Arjuna trees. Remember, where is Kṛṣṇa now? He was running towards the entrance of the compound wall. The entrance of, yes, the compound wall. That means the entrance to their house. Because within that compound, there were other homes also. So Kṛṣṇa was running to, so at that entrance were these two trees, yamala-arjuna trees. Kṛṣṇa reached, when he almost reached the entrance, Yasoda Mai caught him. And when she caught him, there was one grinding mortar there. This is not the grinding mortar sitting on which Krishna distributed butter to the monkeys. That is another one. That was, you know, in the, the courtyard. Now Krishna ran from there, jumping off from that, he came towards the entrance, the gate. So near that gate was another grinding mortar. So after Yaśodā Mai caught, right there she tied him up. So where is Krishna now? He is near the entrance and these trees are also there, and Yaśodā Mai went inside the house to do her household duties. At that time, Krishna looked at these Arjuna trees. That's the whole scene here. Krishna looked at these Arjuna trees, who were actually the sons of Kuvera in their previous life. So what is this verse saying now? Let's read the translation and purport of Srila Prabhupada. While Mother, there's no purport. While Mother Yaśodā was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed. So he just looked, okay. He observed twin trees known as yamala-arjuna, which in a former millennium had been the demigod sons of Kuvera. Text 23. Purā nārada-śāpena vṛkṣatāṁ prāpitau madāt Nalakūvara-maṇigrīvāv iti khyātau śriyānvitau. Purā nārada-śāpena. Purā means again, in the past, in the previous lives. And also tau. Tau means these two. Which two? We saw in the previous verse, right? Krishna looked at the Arjuna trees, who in their previous lives were the sons of the treasurer Kuvera, and who were born amongst the demigods. Now they are there as trees, yamala-arjuna trees. They are appearing as trees, but in their previous lives they were born amongst the demigods and were the sons of the treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera. So Krishna looked at them. And what is he seeing when he looked at them? Purā nārada-śāpena, formerly by the curse of Nārada Muni, vṛkṣatāṁ prāpitau madāt. Acha. So vṛkṣatāṁ prāpitau madāt. So now, because of Nārada Muni's curse, they got the bodies of trees. But why did Nārada Muni curse them? Even though they were famous, khyātau means they were famous as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. They were famous as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, and we saw in the previous verse they were the sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods. Because of śriyānvitau. Śriyānvitau means they were very beautiful and also very opulent. Their father was the treasurer of the demigods. So because of that wealth, because of having that wealth, and also they were demigods, very beautiful. śriyānvitau, because of their beauty, because of that wealth, madāt. So that's why Kunti Maharani prays that I don't want high birth, I don't want high education, beauty, because such people are not able to feelingly surrender to the Lord. Those who have these things, another example, just previous verse we saw, why Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva and Lakshmi Devi are not able to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Same reason. Now, of course, they are all devotees. Here we see about Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. They were intoxicated. They were intoxicated by their position, by the wealth. That's why madāt, mad means what? So intoxicated by their wealth. And by that, so they were intoxicated with pride. When you have so much wealth and power and beauty, you become proud and you are intoxicated with that pride. Therefore, Nārada Muni gave a curse to them to become trees. Who is seeing all this? Kṛṣṇa is seeing. When Kṛṣṇa looked at the yamala-arjuna trees, so he saw previously by Nārada Muni's curse, or you can take like this, previously they were famous as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīvā, but because of their opulence and beauty, they got the pride, and that pride and as a result of that pride, they were cursed by Nārada Muni to become trees. They received the bodies of trees in this life. So when Kṛṣṇa looked at yamala-arjuna trees, he saw their history also, their past. So that's what we are seeing in this verse. In their former birth, these two sons known as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Nārada Muni cursed them to become trees. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 10th canto, 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Mother Yaśodā binds Lord Kṛṣṇa. So I will try to read the commentary to you, because there is no purport, but there's a beautiful explanation given by the acharyas. So I'll just read that to you. So in the previous verse, what did we see? That after tying Kṛṣṇa, Yaśodā became busy with her household activities. At that time, Kṛṣṇa, who was tied to the grinding motor, Kṛṣṇa, who is the giver of liberation, looked at these two Arjuna trees, who were actually the sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods. Kṛṣṇa looked. So what are we learning from that verse? Kṛṣṇa, who is himself bound, he is now Damodar. Damodar means he is bound with a rope around his belly. That Kṛṣṇa, who is now in the condition in bondage, being bound by that rope, is going to deliver others who are bound. He is himself bound, but now he is going to deliver those who are in bondage. To bring this point out, that under any circumstance, Kṛṣṇa is always independent. Even when he is bound by his devotees, he is still the Supreme Lord. Of course, that bondage is real. His being bound by his mother is true. It is real. It's not imitation. Again, one of those achintya qualities of Kṛṣṇa. He is simultaneously bound and also he can liberate others. Who can liberate others? Unless you are liberated, you cannot liberate another person. But Kṛṣṇa is bound. Being bound, he is going to liberate others. This is also his achintya quality. So now Kṛṣṇa, when he is looking at these yamala-arjuna trees, he is seeing their past. He is seeing their past. That they are actually the sons of Kuvera. So from this we are understanding that Kṛṣṇa, who is himself bound by the loving rope of Mother Yaśodā, is going to give liberation to others. To show this quality, to explain this point, now Srila Sukadeva Goswami begins this new Leela, the next Leela. So these are related Leelas. Yaśodā is binding Kṛṣṇa and Kṛṣṇa delivering yamala-arjuna trees. These are two Leelas, two separate Leelas. Why Sukadeva Goswami is now bringing this Leela of Krishna's delivering yamala-arjuna trees. So what was the point that was, what is the message that is given by the previous Leela? Yaśodā is binding Krishna. The message that Krishna himself is announcing, is showing everyone, pradarshita is said. He is showing everyone that he is bound by his servant. He wants to show that. So the highlight, there's only one message that's coming out loudly, that's being said there in that pastime. Krishna is controlled by the love of his servant. Krishna, who is completely independent, he can also be bound by the love. He allows himself to be bound by the love of his devotee. That was the message there. What is the message in this Leela, the next Leela, where Krishna is delivering yamala-arjuna trees? Even though Krishna is bound, he still delivers others by being bound. His being bound is not like our being bound. When we are bound, we cannot do anything. Just we are tied up. But Krishna, even though he is tied up, he is liberating others. That means his being bound is not like our being bound. He is still the Supreme Lord that we see. So, the point here is that to show this, or to begin this prasanga, this context, that Krishna, even though bound, he liberates others. Now Sukadeva Goswami, Srila Sukadeva Goswami started this new Leela's discussion, beginning with this verse. Krishnastu gṛha-kṛtyeṣu. So Krishnastu, this verse he started to start this new topic, that even though Krishna is bound, he still liberates others. Then in the next verse we saw, purā nārada-śāpena vṛkṣatāṁ prāpitau madāt nalakūvara-maṇigrīvāv iti khyātau śriyānvitau. That means, yeah, we discussed the Anvaya already, that in their previous life, these two, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, or these two Arjuna trees in their previous lives were famous as Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, and being very proud of their fortune and their beauty, their opulence, they got cursed by Nārada Muni to become trees. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining like this. Krishna, when he got bound by Yaśodā and when she went away, he's thinking like this, that the reason I got bound, I got bound by Mother Yaśodā is because of my being indebted. Being indebted, I had to get bound by Yaśodā. Because I'm in debt, therefore I got bound like this. What exactly is that debt? That is not said, but well, he did some mischief, and then because of that, he got this. So he's thinking, Krishna is thinking, because I was in debt, I got tied up like this. My mother, by my mother. I got tied up by my mother. Now I want to be relieved from this debt. What should I do to become relieved from this debt? That means she tied me up because I was in debt. And to become relieved, what should I do? He's thinking. And while he's thinking like this, because you see, all the while Krishna is always in the mood of a small child only. That's the reason why he didn't want to get tied by Mother Yaśodā. Because he was like, like a small child. He didn't like that. He didn't want to get tied up. So now also he is thinking, how can I become free? Yaśodā was able to tie me because I was in debt. How can I become free from this debt? Thinking like this, he is looking at these two Arjuna trees standing in front of him. And then he delivered those two trees so that he himself will become free. So that he himself will become free. So Srila Sukadeva Goswami, while describing this Leela of Kṛṣṇas being tied by a rope, he is showing Kṛṣṇa's position of being subordinate to the love of Mother Yaśodā. Now he is going to describe the next Leela. So now I'm explaining the commentary. So now Sukadeva Goswami is inspired to describe the next Leela. Mother Yaśodā, who is filled with Vatsalya Prema, she first of all tied. So remember I said in the beginning, she tried to tie Kṛṣṇa with the ribbon in her hair. And then she went and got so many ropes, one after another, one after another. Finally, when Kṛṣṇa was pleased and allowed himself to be tied by Yaśodā Mai, at that time she didn't even need all those other ropes. That first ribbon was sufficient to tie him, it is said. So anyway, the way she tied him was, she tied him first, like behind his back, she tied a knot. So just she went with the rope around his waist and around his belly and tied a knot in the back. And after that, she took the same rope and went around the motor and tied a knot behind the motor. Why? So that Kṛṣṇa's small hands will not be able to reach behind the motor, and that way he will not be able to open the knot. If the knot were just behind his back, he could have tried to open it. So she tied a knot behind his back and took the same rope around the ukal, the motor, and she tied a knot behind the motor. So now Kṛṣṇa's hands can't go behind the motor. So he cannot free himself. He cannot release himself. He cannot open that. After tying Kṛṣṇa like this, Yaśodā Mai started thinking within herself. In her mind, she started thinking that she actually became relieved in her mind that now this restless boy will not be able to run away from home. He won't be able to go, because that was one fear, that he may go away, go to the forest. So now she became relieved. After tying nicely, she's relieved. In her mind, she's thinking, becoming relieved, she's thinking in her mind that now this restless boy will not be able to run away from home. Besides that, after receiving this punishment, so now he is tied up, so he will see, right? He doesn't want to be tied up. So then he will understand why he is tied up, because of the mischief he did. So out of fear of being tied up, he will not do mischief again. What type of mischief? Stealing butter, etc. Whatever he did now, he won't do this type of mischief in future out of fear of being bound once again. He will fear that, oh, he will remember this punishment and he won't do it again. So these are the two things. One thing is, because of tying up, now he won't be able to run away. So he will be kept here. And the other thing is, he will become fearful of stealing butter, etc. he will be fearful of committing mischievous activities, remembering this punishment. Thinking like this, then she just realized, Arey, my boy hasn't eaten anything until now. You see, from morning until evening, literally, early in the morning until sunset, she was busy trying to tie him, and all this while, neither she ate anything, nor did Krishna. So it dawned upon her that until now, I have not given anything to Krishna. He has not eaten anything. He must be feeling hungry. I must go and make something for him. I should make some arrangement for his food, prasadam. And also she's thinking, all the household work is just, I didn't do any work today. घर का सारा काम ऐसे ही पड़ा हुआ है. She didn't do any work. And today, the maids are also not at home. Everybody is, they went to make arrangements for the next day's Indra Puja. Now, this was before Govardhan Puja. Govardhan Puja started when Krishna turned 7, when he was 7 years old. This pastime is from when he was 3 years old. So at that time, they were still doing Indra Puja, the day after Deepavali. So the maids were not there. Everybody was, they had all gone to make arrangements for Indra Puja. Nobody is there. And all the work is as it is. No work has been done since morning. Thinking like this, so now she has to go and take care of that. And remember what was happening when Yaśodā all day when she was trying to tie ropes, all the other gopis, neighborhood gopis also, they came and they were also having fun seeing what's going on, and they were telling Yaśodā, oh, this boy, it is not written in his fate to be tied by you. Leave him, forget it, like that they were saying. And they were amazed that how, in spite of adding so many ropes, still she's not able to tie. They were laughing. She was also laughing. And then they were helping her in getting ropes. They would go to their home and they would get more and more ropes. She would tell them, get more ropes. They would run back and forth bringing ropes. So all these gopis were also there. And now when it dawned upon Yaśodā that Krishna has not eaten anything, then she sent all these gopis also. She said that your work, household work is also there. You didn't do all day. हम सबका घर का काम ऐसे ही पड़ा है. We didn't do our job, our work, household works today. So let's go to our respective homes and take care of our duties now. Why she said that? Because she had to make arrangement for Krishna. She cannot just sit there and talk with them, right? So she just remembered, I have to feed Krishna something. And all the work, household work is also like that only. So all of you also go home. Let us all go to our respective homes. And let this boy stay like this, tied. इसे इसी प्रकार बंधा रहने दो. Let him stay like this, tied. And let's go now. This was Yaśodā order. Yaśodā is the queen. So hearing Yaśodā order, even though they didn't have the heart to leave, they didn't want to leave Krishna there like that, tied up. But because Yaśodā is ordering, so they started leaving. They started going. And when they left, Yaśodā, she is telling Krishna. And she's like, Krishna ko bhay dikhate hue, like kind of, you can say, kind of challenging him or threatening, you can say. She's saying that if you are so capable, if you think you are so, if you are able to, you can open the knot and then go and steal butter and do all your mischievous activities. She's saying, Are chanchal balak, you restless boy, I have tied you, I am leaving you tied up. If you have the power in you, then let me see you open up this knot and then go and steal butter. मैं तुझे बांध कर जा रही हूं, यदि तुझ में शक्ति है तो इस बंधन को खोलकर मक्खन चुराने के लिए जा. Okay, so kind of challenging him. If you are able, then open up this and you go. So this is said in Vishnu Puran, this statement that Yaśodā is saying, So if you are able to open, and now you go and do your mischievous activities. She was confident that he won't be able to open up. Saying this, she entered inside the house. Antapur mein chali gayi, ghar ke andar. And then she became busy in her household duties. And all the gopis who had come to watch the fun, they were also fearing Yaśodā Mai. One by one started leaving. And while leaving, they also, gave some good instruction to Kṛṣṇa. With great affection, they are saying, Nīlamani. Nīlamani means, blue jewel, right? He's so beautiful, blue in color. So they called him Nīlamani. Nīlamani, don't steal butter again or break the butter pot. He broke the pot of yogurt, right? So don't break the pot of yogurt or steal butter again, like this. Saying this, they left. Now, just think of Kṛṣṇa's condition. Who is Kṛṣṇa? Kṛṣṇa's Shakti is this Maya, Bahiranga Shakti. By the, network of this Maya, these Baddha Jivatmas, conditioned souls, in unlimited or numerous universes, how many living entities there are, even in just a patch of grass, or just in the air, how many living entities there are? It's mind-boggling. In one universe, how many living entities there are, and how many universes are there? You cannot even count. Like in a big bag full of mustard seeds, as many mustard seeds there are, that many universes. And in each universe, again, so many living entities are there. All these conditioned souls in these numerous universes, they are all bound by the external energy of Kṛṣṇa. And by the mercy, by the all the devotees, again, in the entire universe, not one universe, unlimited universes, and also all the devotees in the spiritual worlds, in the Vaikuntha planets, the devotees in all these material universes and in the Vaikuntha planets, since beginningless, you can say, because in the spiritual world there is no time, forever, they are bound by the rope of Kṛṣṇa's mercy, isn't it? Because it is only by his mercy one gets love for Kṛṣṇa. And so devotees, why they are bound to Kṛṣṇa? Because of their love. How they got this love? By Kṛṣṇa's mercy. So the conditioned souls are tied, bound by the external energy of Kṛṣṇa, and all his devotees in all the universes, even in the spiritual world, they're all bound by his mercy, by the rope of his mercy. That means Kṛṣṇa is tying everyone. He's keeping everyone bound, both his devotees and the conditioned souls. Since when? Since beginningless. And simply by taking shelter of his lotus feet, all these living entities who are bound, they become free from the bondage, material bondage. Simply by taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa's lotus feet, these conditioned souls become free from that material bondage. Such supreme controller, the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari, is now bound by the rope of Yaśoda Mai in the house of Nanda Maharaj, in that lonely place at the entrance. And he is making so many endeavors to become free from that bondage. He is tied by Mother Yaśoda, and standing there in that lonely place, he is now making hundreds of plans and efforts to come out of that bondage. And in spite of all his efforts, he is not able to free himself. That person who binds everyone, he is not able to free himself from bondage. I think I can stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. We will continue. It is still not over. This is the conclusion of this chapter. So there's some more discussion here, what all happened, before we move on to the next chapter that we will do in tomorrow's class. And I have like 8 minutes. I'll see if I can do something. We have one verse remaining in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe we can complete that verse now. And then I will end the class.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
They said if possible to join the Zoom by 7:45 so that everyone is available to greet Guru Maharaj. So I'll be dropping off. I don't know about others. For the Zoom session.
Vaisheshika Prabhu is in ISKCON Philadelphia.
No, Zoom session. Through Zoom, he is joining. Yesterday, we had home program at Denutarpita Prabhu's house, and Guru Maharaj, Guru Ma, they were all there yesterday.
Achha.
And then today morning is Zoom session for the ISKCON Philly.
Acha. So it's time now already?
Yes, Mataji. That's
okay. Then we can end here. No problem.
So
yes,
instead
Mataji.
of joining at the right time, they requested if everybody, like just an announcement came in the group of the, ISKCON Philly group, saying that if everybody can join 5 minutes early to welcome Guru Maharaj, it will be really nice. So I felt it's just to let you know.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. I was not sure because I was scheduled for today's class. But then Mataji sent a message, Shobha Radhe Mataji sent a message that Vaisheshika Prabhu might be able to give class, but then I didn't get a confirmation. But I see that I got it just now. I got the confirmation. So yes, so I will end here. So we can do Bhagavad Gita session tomorrow, because there are also, devotees from ISKCON Philadelphia. There are other devotees also here who will join there. So we will end the session here. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. And I have a question for tomorrow, not now. Like, was Nanda Maharaj aware, or was he there anytime through this entire Damodar Leela? Is there anything mentioned about his presence?
No, he comes
or at least after the... Oh, okay, later. Okay.
He's the one who opens Kṛṣṇa, but it will come later.
Oh, okay. Somehow I forgot that. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Grantaraj,
Mataji, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji.